Hi, I'm Jeff from Homestead Living, Alaska. Today I'm going to go over a couple of my favorite chainsaws that I use here on the homestead. And we'll be going over why we like these saws and the comparisons. They're smaller saws, but they do a good job with the birch and spruce. Chainsaws are a very important tool that we use here on the homestead. I use chainsaws for clearing trees, brush. We cut firewood with the chainsaws. They're just a very handy tool. So let's dive into these saws and I'll tell you the differences between them. We have this MS 250. It's a 45cc. It weighs about 10 pounds. 18-inch bar. This one I bought off Craigslist from a guy that moved up here from Washington. And it came from Cowlitz River Rigging in Oregon. This saw has great torque, good compression. Not terrible. It will pull 16 inches of tree through this easy. As long as your chain is sharp, it cuts really well. So if you wanted one saw that would do all your limbing, do your brush cutting, and still cut rounds efficiently, as long as you got some good gas in it, good mix. I use AMSOIL. The MS 250, the older version, MS 250 is hard to beat, in my opinion. You can work it all day long. This saw here can handle brush. It can handle devil's club, alder bushes, and it can go cut firewood for you and drop trees, 18-inch in diameter, no problem. And it has the juice to cut through the double cut on a big tree. It takes longer, but you could definitely do that with this saw. Another thing about the MS250, the fuel tank has a great size, a nice size fuel tank. Other one here has a much smaller fuel tank, smaller saw, but I noticed that they put a same size tank on the 250 as they did on the 251. Another feature I like is there's no primer ball. Which I don't like, because here in Alaska at 5 below, you push that little plastic primer ball and it breaks. So it doesn't have one of those, which is great. Has a great brake. It's a funny fire up on these though. On choke, you pull it a few times and then it like barely kicks and that's it. Right up. Not bad. And it runs good. My son Brady just cleaned the carb on it for me too, so it's a lot snappier right now. And we run an AMSOIL in it, 100 to 1. And it runs great. I do like the chain tensioner on this saw. It's on the side of the case here. That's great because sometimes they're down in here. And I'm left-handed, so it's tough with my right hand. So I love the chain tensioner there. So I'll set the 250 down, and I have a smaller 170. It's a 30cc. It weighs about 8.6 pounds. Very light. You can. I'm not. You can hold it out there. So this is a good saw for if you have to get up on the roof, limb some trees, that are growing over the roof. Brush, light brush, it's good for that. This saw was bought in Banks, Oregon in probably 2013. Good little saw. It's great for when you have to go up a ladder and cut some branches. It's not an arbor saw, a top handle arbor saw. It's not that, but it's let's say it's a homeowner's arbor saw. They are a little heavier than an arbor saw, but they are cheaper too. This one came with a narrower bar on it, almost like a wood carving bar, not quite, but a narrower point. And I found that it always got stuck in the firewood. The wood would pinch it. And I put the saw down for several months. I didn't use it, and then I talked to a guy, and he said, "Well, do you know you could put a bigger bar on it, thicker kerf too?" And I said, "Well, no, I didn't know that." So I put a bigger bar on it, and it's great. This is a 16-inch bar. You know, the feature I don't like is that the adjustment for the chain is right here on the inside.
Yeah.
And remember, I'm left-handed, so this saw is light. I mean, it's light, right? It pulls easy. I do like that it has a little window when these are clean. It has a little window to see how much oil you have in it and fuel. I do like these caps. Hated them at first. They're great, right? Great cap. See? Same with the oil.
That's on the MS-250.
That's on the 250, and that's, you know, I don't know what year. Probably at 2021.
Why do you like the caps?
Well, I'll show you. Because if you don't have a screwdriver...
Oh, that's right.
Right? That's not a big deal, but when you do that at like 10 below, it's good luck. Yeah, she's almost out of gas. So it is light, therefore it has a small fuel tank because they wanted it light. It has a small fuel tank. I'm not sure the size. You know, it could use a set of some decent dogs here. You know, some dogs to grab here because, like I said, when these are new, they run really well. They run fantastic, especially with that bigger bar on it. Not a longer bar, just it's a thicker bar. But this is a great saw if you're just cutting small stuff up to maybe a foot down. That's fine. It works just fine. Another thing we do here with our chainsaws is we use I guess, organic bar oil. I was using, you know, box store bar oil, and my skin was really itchy from it, and I didn't like it. So, I'm not saying it's from that, but I use canola oil, and I have the 250 here is probably has 75 cords on it, easy, with nothing but canola oil in it. I don't see any problem with it. It doesn't start to freeze up till about 10 degrees Fahrenheit. The bottles of bar oil say, you know, they give you directions on what to do if you get it in your eyes, right? It sprays everywhere. So you can cook with this wood that we cut. You know, you don't have to worry about it. When I see it in the water, when it's raining and I'm cutting wood, it doesn't leave that rainbow sheen, right? So I think it's very environmentally friendly, and Ruby likes it too. Yeah. So anyways, I don't have a problem with it. I would put it in a 500i still, no problem. I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Once you switched from the bar oil to the canola oil, how'd your skin do?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
So it's better?
Yeah. You know, after the switch of the canola oil from the bar oil, this rash cleared up, so that's nice.
So that's a good tip. And doesn't it save people money? Is it
is
less
actually
expensive?
Cheaper. It's cheaper than...
So the canola oil...
So canola oil by the gallon is definitely cheaper than any of the bar oil you would buy. You know, unless you found it on sale somewhere. But yeah, no, it's works just fine. I'll fire these guys up and we'll try them out for you. I'll just cut some small stuff for you and just let you see how they cut. And we'll go cut some wood here and see how it goes. So we'll take the 170, cut through this 10-inch piece of birch. It's probably been down for 6 months, somewhere in there. And we'll see how fast it goes. This is more of a real lemon saw. It's not, doesn't do well in the big wood. But I'll do it for you so you can see what you're looking at if you're trying to decide which one you might want or not want. But this is the MS 170. I'll get it going for you.
All right. Let's do it. We're going to time it.
Okay, so we'll cut through this. I'll give that 11-inch log with the 170. We'll time it and just see how long it takes, and then we'll do the same with the 250.
All right.
Okay.
And that was with the one. All right, let's try the other one. Okay, it's the 250. So we've got the MS 250 was 9 seconds and the 170 was 21 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot faster saw. I filed both the chains. I'll hand file. It does okay. It's not it's not a West Coast saw, you know.
Right.
Big old, 48-inch bar. You know?
Right. So pick your
But
saws accordingly.
You wouldn't want to have a 48-inch bar up here.
Right. These are just the two
You'd
that
pull
we
the
use
whole
a
tree
lot.
to you, huh?
Right. These are just the two that we use a lot with our size trees. So you pick what's appropriate for the size trees that you have.
I think a 391 still would be good to have around too, for sure, for bigger stuff. I have a 039. Then I have an old Johnson Red 70E down in Oregon, and that's a good saw too.
Yeah.
It's a 72 cc.
Right. It's big.
It's a good saw. We're not sponsored by STIHL or anything like that. We're just doing a little comparison if you guys were wondering, what you might be looking for. Well, I hope that helped you out a little bit. Deciding what size saw you might really want for this kind of living. Depends on the size of trees you have. So see you on the next one.